Hi, I'm Weston. I love talking about the Jets, and I'm here to talk about Week 12. Jets win 21-14. Weston, you're going to talk about how ugly the game... No. Look, I don't get to talk about wins that much. Let me have this. They won. But I kind of do have to talk about how ugly that was. Yeesh. When I said it was going to be a glue eating contest last week, I didn't realize I was going to be this correct. That was an event, to say the least. Boy. Alright, where do we begin with this game? Defense for the Jets at points looked terrible. At other points looked incredible. Defensive line today was magnificent. They were putting pressure on the Texans all day long. They looked great. John Franklin Myers had maybe the best game of his career. He was bananas. And that's great, because a lot of people were saying that, oh, he's disappeared since the contract. I didn't think he disappeared. I just thought he took a dip in production. He was still doing stuff. It just wasn't showing up on a stat sheet. But today, he did show up on the stat sheet. 3 tackles, 2 sacks, a awesome interception. He was just wreaking havoc all day long. John Franklin Myers was dominant today, and it was fantastic to see. Along with that, Quinnen Williams also looked pretty darn solid today. 4 tackles on the day for Quinnen. He got a sack too. Great game from Quinnen Williams. He looked solid. His brother Quincy Williams also looked pretty solid. He was flying all over, had a pair of tackles, also had a sack. That's good to see. Not so fun on the defensive side. Michael Carter went down with an injury very early on. I don't believe he returned, so that's not great. Michael Carter is massive on this defense, and we had our other Michael Carter go down last week, and so having the other one come down is not wonderful. But overall, the defense, I'm going to say, looked pretty good. Bryce Hall had a very weird day where he had a couple of really nice pass breakups. He had a couple of really nice tackles that saved massive yardage. He also got completely cooked on a play by Brandon Cooks. So I'm not sure how to say he played. I'm going to say good, but honestly, it could go either way because there were points where he played really, really well and points where he played poorly. But I'm going to say a good overall day for him. The secondary, I thought, looked pretty solid. Granted, Tyrod Taylor and the Texans are not exactly a burner of an offense, but still, we looked good defensively today. Look, man, we're 12 weeks into the season. We've been thinking about the draft since, like, week 2. I'm going to take whatever positive I can find. We looked solid today on defense. But, as is often with the Jets, the real down point of the day was the offense. Shocker, shocker. Zach Wilson made his return. He didn't look good. So the interception. Originally, I wrote down one of the worst interceptions I've seen from Zach Wilson this season. And then I watched it a few more times. I'm going to say something that I don't think a lot of Jets channels are going to say about this interception. I don't think it was a particularly bad play by Zach Wilson because he looked like he was getting ready to shovel it, and Ty Johnson was staring at him. And then as he put his arm in motion, Ty Johnson just turned around and then had it hit off his back, and then into the waiting arms of a Texan defender. I don't think it was particularly bad for Zach Wilson. Again, I still think he takes some blame for there because he didn't make a decision and could have just ran for some yards. But I'm not going to call it the worst play of his NFL career like I've seen some people do. I think it was bad, but I don't think it's as bad as some people are going to say it was. Overall for the day, though, Zach Wilson was not great. He was overthrowing, he was underthrowing. Even some of his completions were more so just good catches by the receiver instead of well-delivered balls by Zach Wilson. I think he played better in the second half, which is a positive. Hopefully the second half can carry over into next week. But first half, Zach Wilson that was embarrassing, if we're being honest with each other. Again, I think he rebounded pretty well in the second half. First half was rough. He cashed in on a rushing touchdown to get his touchdown for the day. 14 for 24 passing, 145 yards, no touchdowns through the air, but 1 rushing and an interception. Not great from Zach Wilson, not the worst performance he's had by any means, but against a team like the Texans, which they're pretty darn bad, you would have liked to have seen him do a little bit more than that, but it's his first game in quite a few games. I believe his last game was week 7, so it's his first game back in about a month. I'm going to give him a bit of a pass here. Now, if he plays like this again next week, I'm going to not give him the pass and potentially critique him. But as of this moment, I'm going to give him the pass because also the offensive line was pretty bad today. It was just, he got blown up a couple of times, just completely blindsided. So I want to give him some credit. I don't think he was as terrible as some people are going to say. I thought he was mediocre. Not wretched, just mediocre. Elijah Moore had a big second half in the receiving game. He had 46 yards on 4 catches. He looked pretty great in the second half. First half was a dud, but that was sort of the thing for the entire offense. Braxton Berrios had 2 receptions for 47 yards. Not anything, 2 receptions, but big yardage. Keelan Cole had a pair of receptions. Ryan Griffin caught 3. Tevin Coleman caught a pair for 3 yards. Woo. Again, the receiving game was not really much to talk about. The rushing game was actually pretty darn solid. Big 3 today. Tevin Coleman, 67 yards on 16 touches. Ty Johnson, 42 on 16. He had one really big carry today. I want to say it was 3rd and 29, and he picked up 26, which allowed us to go for it on 4th down. That was a big play by Ty Johnson. Austin Walter got 38 yards in his first career touchdown today. And I heard them say, and that is Austin Walter for the touchdown. And I said, who? I swear, watching the Jets at this point of the season, and this goes for any year, not just this one, after injuries have murdered us offensively and defensively, really, it just becomes this weird, awkward retreat where you probably should know the people that are there, but you have no idea who they are. Hey, Weston. Hey, buddy. How's it going? Oh, come on. It's me, Wes. Yeah, I know who you are. Okay, then, what's my name? Bilal Powell? Oh my god, you're not even close. Chris Ivory! And then, like I said, Zach Wilson had his rushing touchdown from a few yards out. Great play by Zach Wilson on that rushing touchdown, breaking a few tackles and just not giving up on the play. So that's a big positive for him. I thought that was a nice run. Look, were the Jets pretty today? No. But they got a win. Hopefully, they can carry some momentum. Do you even have momentum after a game like that? I'm going to say you do. And we carry it into next week. We are going to be back in MetLife in front of our home crowd. By the way, this is the first road win of the season for the Jets. Only took 12 weeks. We'll be back in MetLife next week to have the Eagles come to town, who are also pretty rough. So hopefully, hey, who knows? Maybe we can actually, get a 2-game winning streak. That'd be slick. Gosh, can you imagine that? I honestly think the Jets could genuinely upset the Eagles next week. They're not great or anything, so I could see that going to us. Who's to say? Honestly, I get that the draft is coming up and what have you, and Jets fans have been thinking about the draft since before the season started, which is sort of the prerequisite with Jets fans at this point. But, genuinely, I'm in win mode right now. I would just like to see the Jets. Honestly, a perfect world, and I know it isn't going to happen because we're just not that good, is just win out. Win as many games as possible from here on out. I don't care about the draft order. I just want to see the Jets get some wins. You're going to have, in the next 5 weeks, 4 home games, and the one road game is against the Dolphins. I really think we could... I'm going to say we should take 3 of those. I know that that's really out there and outstretched, but those 5 games are Eagles, Saints, Dolphins on the road, Jags, and Bucks. I think you could take the Eagles one. I think you could take the Dolphins on the road, and I think Jags at home you should take. I know that that's a big ask, especially for a team like the Jets who has looked as bad as they have, but you should have a pretty big chunk of your starting offense there. You should have parts of your defense, and some of those teams are pretty rough, man. We should be able to get some wins here. And that's, I think, genuinely right now, what's best for us overall as a team is not the draft right now. You can find players. We don't need our franchise quarterback right now. We hopefully have him in Zach Wilson. Look to just get wins and build the confidence of your offense, your defense, your franchise quarterback, and your new head coach. That's what I would like to see for the last few weeks. I just don't... I know that we already are. I just don't want to think about the draft yet. I want to actually think about the season at hand and not the draft. Anyway, there's no Rangers game tonight. It got postponed. Thanks, Islanders! So instead, I will be back Wednesday with the Rangers video and back next Sunday when the Jets play the Eagles. So, that is all I have to say for the video. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day. And as always, and I can actually say it with a positive note today, go Jets.